Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Still not.
So you're probably wondering why I'm sitting here on this couch all by myself with no co-host. And the answer is, I wanted to see what a spinoff with myself would look like. You probably know that math podcast has not continued for 2 months or something like that. I think I'm ready to share with you guys my perspective of what went down between me and my ex-co-host. So the Girl Math podcast was created by 2 best friends. Supposed to be a fun outlet for us to just talk about things, but can't we get in front of a camera and let everybody else hear our conversations? So we did. We started Girl Math podcast. It went for about 9 or 10 episodes before it ended with Laura as a co-host and myself. It was a cute little run, right? All I can say is that from my perspective, I feel like I haven't been heard, not even one word. Like, yes, I've been heard and like my voice and my text messages were received, but they were definitely not read or taken to heart or even, hurt. Like she didn't care at all what I had to say. Anyways, I'm gonna start from the beginning because this is my therapy session and I think I deserve to be able to tell my side of things. Now, whether or not me and her will ever be friends again, I honestly don't think so. Here we go. About episode 9, I started to see my co-host, her mindset kind of be shifted, and she would get influenced from other sources and not doing her own research, not coming prepared, not thinking it was necessary to come prepared, like just like with a little bit of notes, like just think ahead. So that way you're not, at a loss for words whenever we're filming. And that was very important to me. But whenever we would have conversations, she would oftentimes take us down like a rabbit hole, or I didn't even really follow half the time. Then I'm just like, what are you saying? You want to do this, and that? Like, can we just keep it right here in front of us? Can we just film once a week and can we post those videos and can we keep it on topic and can we have fun with it? Like, I don't know what you're saying or where this influence is coming from or why you're even suggesting this stuff. I think it was like merchandise, or I can't even quite remember, but I just remember being like, I can't comprehend all of this. Also, she wanted a little bit more creative control, and it just wasn't possible because I would have to take like 2 hours out of a day during the week to compile all of the reels, the short videos. And she didn't have that time to give to me for us to sit down. And also she doesn't know how to do that. So trying to fit it into both of our schedules at the same exact time she wanted some control over like the editing and this and that. So she came up with some ideas on a posting schedule and editing schedule and this and that. And it just kind of felt like just doing too much. And I just wanted to edit the videos and just put them out, like not think too hard about them. I started to get really frustrated with her because there was things going on that would happen in her life where I would notice that her ability to be influenced was like there. It was huge. And in my head, I'm like, huh? How can you let someone make you think that this is a good idea? Like, where was your thoughts? So I started to notice she's very easily influenced. She wasn't doing her own research, wasn't doing her own work, wasn't bringing much to the table except for everyone else's ideas, was kind of trying to give an idea on the editing and the schedule for posting and how it would fit into her schedule so that she could take more of an active role. So these things just started to annoy me because I'm like, what are you doing? This is my baby. This is my dream. This is my creative outlet, and you're totally like flipping and tossing it and turning it and, you know, making it into something that I'm not even really sure what's going on. So I was getting very frustrated because I wanted her influence to be her own. So I let it all fester. And I had mentioned that I kind of wished that we had one with a different name, Talkish, like talking shit. Not because I was like planning to change the name, not because I thought like girl math was not clever, but because I really did think that Talkish was better. And I was just kind of making a comment, like maybe it was a negative comment, but I'm allowed to have those fucking like, negative comments or thoughts. And if I can't share those freely with my friend, then fuck off. Anyway, so I did. I shared that thought with her and she didn't like it. She thought I was being negative. And then, and so then she was like, you're coming off a little strong right now. You're being very negative. I don't like this tone. Can you stop? And I was like, whoa. So it kind of just opened the door for me to express all of my thoughts and feelings on how I feel like she's just not measuring up. She's not being mature lately. She's not making decisions on her own. She's not making life choices that suit her, you know, her end goal, or she's being influenced too easily. Like I just kind of was just letting her know and being very specific as to why I was thinking these thoughts. I was saying basically, you're coming off immature to me. You're very easily influenced. Like you're not doing your own research. You just got manipulated into agreeing to this, and this. How, like, do you not see why I'm thinking this way? Come back to reality, come back to center, refocus, and like handle your business. Basically, she didn't like that very much. So she not only didn't like it very much, but she took the victim mentality completely and disregarded everything that I was saying. Granted, I may have like come off a little too strong, but everything I said, I meant it. Like I was trying to be a friend to her, to be like, you need to catch yourself before you make another huge mistake. Stop letting these people that you don't even know influence you and make you think that something's a good idea when it's not. Please, like, focus on the here and now, what's going on with the podcast. Like, we don't need to complicate things. Like, just do your own research, figure out what works, what makes the podcast work, then pitch those ideas to me. But don't come off with these like random like fairy tale ideas that don't even fucking make sense. Like, where did you get that from? Sure wasn't research, and it sure wasn't from somebody else doing it and being successful. Like, what are you saying? Just felt like I was talking to a child, and I didn't want her inability to be mature to influence the podcast. I didn't want it to ruin the podcast. So I did tell her all those thoughts like in one big text, but apparently she was super hurt by it. And when she told me that she cried over them, like 2 days later, I kid you not, like I thought she was lying to me. Because I wasn't like, you fucking bitch, like you're dumb. No, I was just giving her my opinion on her mindset and where she was at. And because I'm also needing to set some boundaries, because I don't like where you're headed right now, and I don't want to be, I don't agree. And so because I don't agree, like you go do your thing, but I'm gonna stay over here. I'm gonna set some boundaries, but I also wanted to bring it to her attention, like my thoughts on her. So basically we didn't talk for a few days after that. And I fully thought, like, during this time of no talking, I fully thought that, oh, she's gonna, you know, come back to her senses, or she's gonna see where I'm coming from, or she's going to understand and hear me. She's gonna, you know, reread our text messages and just kind of like hear me. Not what happened. She sent me a text and said, I never want to speak to you again. Our friendship is over. You're an evil person. Your intentions were very mean. And when she sent that to me, I was like literally so caught off guard, because there's no way that my matter-of-fact tone was so unbearable that we can't like talk through it. Like, okay. But anyways, at that time when she told me that, I actually cried because I was very sad at the thought of losing her as a friend. So we had a little bit of a text exchange back and forth, and then we ended up agreeing to go to therapy. For the sake of my friendship, I basically tucked my tail and was the bad guy and had to just apologize and say, I'm sorry for hurting your feelings. She suggested that I was bipolar. The thing is like, I feel like she, the whole time throughout this entire situation, just kept telling me what I am and how I'm wrong, but never wanted to like take a look inward at, not even if it was true or not, because I could be wrong, but like hearing me as your friend having opinions and thoughts, like, can you just hear me? And just to like make me, just to make me feel heard, can you just at least acknowledge what I'm saying to you? Never, not even once. So during the therapy session, she cried, and I sat there, and the therapist just basically said, you know, like my response to being frustrated was not appropriate, and that the way I went about telling her my thoughts was not appropriate. That I kind of came off a little too aggressive, probably to the borderline, like, you know, hurting her feelings. And so I said, I'm sorry. And after therapy, we decided to not talk every day like we had been previously before the fight. And we also decided to just like take it easy and take it slow coming back into being friends, being close. But the thing that I don't appreciate about this, and now that I'm looking back, I see how it's kind of fucked up, is she was like, whoa, we're gonna take a minute to like get close again. I don't think I did anything wrong except for express myself. So I had invited her the next, or maybe 2 weeks after therapy, to watch the Super Bowl at my family's watch party. She agreed and she came, and it was a good time. Before our fallout, talk all the time and also text all the time. And you have to understand, like, two close girls in our 20s, I personally would text about random things. Oh my God, I just almost slipped and fell. Um, I'm so tired. I'm going to go to bed early tonight. Can't wait to go to the gym tomorrow. Or you want to go? Like just random thoughts at random times. And I never would think she needs to respond to this text message right now. I knew that if I sent her a text message, she would respond when she was able and if she wanted to. I mean, there's just nothing more to it. Like, so we would talk a lot, and then it went from talking a lot to, you know, not talking at all, really. And I understood that she wanted and needed her space before we were going to attempt rekindling a friendship. Basically felt like she couldn't trust me. I don't know why. The thing like that baffles me about this whole thing is like, when you're close with somebody, like, how do you just get unclose after a little argument? Like, that's my thing. Like, so you want me to pretend like I haven't been super close with you the last 5 months, or that we're not like best friends because your feelings got hurt? Okay, a little strange, but I'll go with it. I'll give you your space. So that's what I did. Of course, I didn't ignore her, and of course, I didn't just like X her out completely. Like, I would send random texts, like very few. Well, here's the thing. I backed off a lot, but then we decided and planned to go to dinner on a Thursday. And that Thursday leading up to dinner, I had been drinking, and I did text her back to back quite a bit, random different things, like I did, you know, before the falling out. And so she just so happened to have therapy that night right before dinner. And of course, the topic of conversation is me because I'm texting her a lot. So when she comes to pick me up for dinner, the first thing that she says is, hey, you're coming off a little strong. I needed this space and you're not respecting my boundaries. Something like that. And so I heard what she said, and that was totally fine. But it was coming off to me as if she was telling me that this is how I am and have been since therapy, and that is just not the truth. So her telling me that I needed to back off more, like, really sent me into a fucking rage. Like, not right then and there, like rage, like her, but I was like thrown off guard. Like, I was like, wait. You want me to? I've already backed off a lot, and then you want to tell me that I'm not backed off enough, which I guess she has that right to do, but I don't know. It really just baffled me, and also her not being able to just let it go that I was texting her quite a bit that day. I was excited to see her. I was drinking a little bit. I had random thoughts. Like, for her to make it like a matter of fact thing that has been happening, and then trying to call me out on it, just really just didn't sit right with me. It felt like she was trying to get the upper hand again and also put me back in my place when I had respectfully already been in my place and not been hitting her up a lot and giving her distance. Anyways, I gave her my little like pushback or, defense about it. And then we went to dinner. It was good. We drank a little bit. And then I just remember getting home and just being like, I don't really want to hang out anymore. Like, can you go? Like, this is weird. Like, you want me to pretend like we were never as close as we were. You want to like punish me for sharing and expressing with you my thoughts and feelings, not even hearing what I had to say from the get go, disregarding all of it, telling me your feelings are hurt, and then punishing me and telling me that you don't want to hear from me and that I'm hitting you up too much and that I'm not respecting your boundaries. As if we're just like not friends. Like, okay, this is weird to me. Like, can you just go? I just don't, this is weird. You're not going to just put rules and restrictions up all the time. I'm like I can't even share a thought. I can't even text you. I can't like let me just not even be friends with you then. Go. So that was the last time that we saw each other. From her perspective, and I don't really know very much from her perspective because she doesn't say anything. She just ignores and then acts like I'm the worst thing ever, and I just hurt her feelings so much. Share your thoughts. Let's hear them. Same with your chest. Like, what's up? So fucking weird. And then you want to come over and then you want to give me a hug and cry about it? Cry? Like, I. So I said that was the last time I saw her, but that's not true. I had hit up her little boyfriend boo thing, and I was like, hey, I really miss Laura. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, just trying to make amends, seeing where her head was at. And he was like, you guys need to figure this out. We're coming over right now. But keep in mind, like, at that time, like, I was still very, like, it had been 2 weeks and I was still very, when I talked about it, I was very aggressive because I was still so mad. Like, I still did not think that she was just and right. And I was not ready to tuck my tail, and I was not ready to be soft about the situation. I still felt like she was not taking accountability and not being respectful of me or my feelings. Anyways, they ended up making their way over. The first thing that she does when she walks in my door is gives me a hug, which obviously, like, I love that. But then she starts crying, and I am like, what are you crying about? You're going to have to use your words. I cannot comfort you. I cannot console you. I don't know what you're crying over. Are you mad at me? Are you mad at you? Are you trying to say you're sorry? Are you trying to say you're mad, but you don't know? Like, what are you saying right now? So I basically, like, I stopped giving her a hug, and I said, I don't know what that means. Please tell me what the heck that means. Like, why are you crying? So obviously we were drinking. All of us were very tipsy, drunk. It was like 2 a.m. The whole entire night, it was just like me and her, just like, I don't know. It was weird. I don't even really know. She didn't say anything productive, and all I kept saying was, I don't need you to grow, but you're abandoning me. You don't care about me. Blah, 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 blah. Like, so I just feel like I let somebody in so close to me who was a good influence, who was a positive influence, who did impact me a lot. Like I have her initials on me. Because at the time when we started being friends, I was coming out of like my 1 year of sobriety. And so I was still really new to like social mannerisms and like just relearning everything, you know, how to be girly, like trends and going out, socializing, and just confidence. And she spoke a lot of life into me. And she was just somebody I could talk to about anything, it felt like. Um, so for the friendship and the time that we did have together, I'm genuinely thankful and grateful. And I wish it could have kept on that same path and tone of friendship, but it didn't. Um, but because it didn't, I don't feel like it should have just been like called quits. I feel like she could have given it the time of day and like tried to hear me. Um, yeah. So I feel like I let somebody in close who I still don't even know how much. Like I called her my best friend, but I don't think that she called me her best friend. You know what I mean? Like I enjoyed being around her, and I think that she tolerated me. Um, that mutual love and respect, it just started to like it started to not be there. My from both sides, but she would kind of be a little passive aggressive, wouldn't really be like open to my, you know, thoughts or my negative or positives. She didn't really just want to hear me or be around me, it felt like. Um and then full disclosure, after the Chiefs game we did have like a threesome with her guy and me and her. And I don't think that she was super like into it, but I mean, it happened and then we kind of like just pretended it didn't, and we were both and all of us were on the same page, like it wasn't going to happen again. But in from my perspective, it looks like she didn't want to continue a friendship with me, knowing that her dude was going to try to encourage another threesome or want that. And I don't think that she was willing to give up that connection with him to include me, even though like we could have set hard boundaries and said no. Also, you're giving up a friendship over sex and a connection with a guy. Like I get it, like both are important, but you could have separated them. So at the end of the day, that's what I think it's all about. Anyways, we can go back and forth all day long. We can talk about who said what, but it's not productive at this point. So I kept trying to extend an olive branch and be like, let's just like wipe the slate clean. Like, let's just love and respect each other. And she just wasn't having it. So this is me moving on, doing a solo girl math podcast. Potentially will have a co host. Here's to that.